All right, is everybody there?
Okay, Mr. Sykes, I think we have everyone except Ms. Tanya Berry Robinson has to be admitted in.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Congleton. Everybody ready?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Thank you all so much. All right. Good evening to everyone and fellow board members, our interim superintendent, Dr. Congleton, any staff that may be there and others that may be on our meeting this evening. Welcome to our open session meeting for January 21st, 2021. Let us now announce that the meeting is officially called to order. Let us begin by reading our mission statement. I think that is printed and it's going to come up so we all can read it together. If we can prepare at this time, let's start. The mission of Weldon City School District is to create and maintain a highly effective educational system in which every student receives the highest quality education. School employees and parents work together to prepare students to become caring, competent, and responsible citizens who value education as a lifelong process. Thank you so much. This time we will have our thought for the evening.
Yeah, our thought for the evening
Mr. Williams.
is pretty simple, but it carries a lot of weight. And it says, no matter how educated, talented, rich, or poor you believe you are, how you treat people ultimately tells it all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Williams, for that thought for the evening. Spot on. And I hope that all of us that are listening tonight would take heed and pass it on to others as well. Thank you so much for that timely thought for the evening, Mr. Williams, and especially with us in this new year of 2021, the first month of our calendar year. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
All right. At this time, ask that all of the board members would review their agenda. You would look at it very quickly, see if there's any additions or deletions that we need to make to our agenda for the evening. Please take a moment to view your agenda.
Reverend Sykes,
Yes, sir.
I would like to add a staying vote to the agenda.
You'd like to add a what?
Abstain, ABSTAIN, vote.
Stain.
ABSTAIN, vote. Abstain.
Oh, an abstain vote.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You saying when we actually take our vote, anybody that abstain? Abstain.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you so much. Duly noted.
I want to add it to the agenda.
You want to add it to the agenda?
Yes, sir.
An abstain vote?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir. We will do just that. Let's see. Can we do that before right after the public forum? Are you all right with putting it there?
It doesn't matter with me.
Okay. Is everybody all right with putting it there before the after the public forum?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. So we will, excuse me?
I said that works for me.
Okay. All right. So we'll do 8 and we'll add a number 1 under 8 after the public forum. We will add abstain vote.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Anyone else? All right, if not, motion would be in order that we approve the agenda that has been submitted to us for our January 21st, 2021 meeting with the noted addition to our meeting agenda for tonight. Motion is in order.
I make a motion to approve the agenda for tonight, with the, what number was it that we added it to?
8.1.
With the addendum of 8.1.
All right.
Second.
Thank you so much. The motion has been moved and properly second that we approve our agenda tonight with the said addition that has been made. You've heard that motion. Is there any unreadiness? Hearing none, all of those in favor of that motion, would you let it be known now by your voice vote? Ms. Harrison,
Yes.
Ms. Jenkins,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Hale,
Yes.
Ms. Bird Robinson,
Aye.
Ms. Kim Robinson,
Aye.
and Sykes, aye. Let the record reflect that it is a unanimous approval. Thank you all so much, board members. All right. At this time, we ask, you've had opportunity to have your minutes. If you would look at them, or you have looked at them, has everybody received their minutes? We'll entertain a motion to receive the minutes from our, this is supposed to be December meeting, correct? It has on our agenda May 21st, 2020. That's supposed to be December, right?
It's December.
Okay. And our special call meeting that we had last Thursday, which was December the 14th. Excuse me, January the 14th. I apologize. Is that right, Miss Kitty?
No, the minutes are here the following month, so they will be on the February agenda.
Okay, I'm just looking at the agenda. It has May 21st, 2020, which of course,
Assembly system,
okay,
deleted.
all right. So that's December,
Only the December minutes,
correct. I got you.
they were attached to the agenda.
Thank you. All right, motion is in order to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve minutes.
Motion has been moved and properly second that we accept, or we approve rather, the minutes from our December 2020 open session meeting. You've heard the motion. Is there any unreadiness? Hearing none, all those in favor, would you let it be known now by your voice vote? Ms. Hale? Ms. Hale?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Kim Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Jenkins? Ms. Bird Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Harrison?
Yes.
And O.D. Sykes, yes. Let the record reflect that the minutes were approved unanimously. At this time, we'll go into our reports. We'll have our superintendent's report. Dr. Congleton.
Thank you. Excuse me. Mr. Chairman, board members, employees, parents, and the Charger family. It is my pleasure to share with you my January superintendent's report. Based upon the fact that the COVID-19 virus is still rampant throughout the county and indeed the country, I'm recommending that we continue with remote learning until further notice. Everyone is still encouraged to intensify mask wearing, social distancing, and following CDC guidelines. We are encouraged that the entire country, including Halifax County, have embarked upon a vaccination campaign, but it will still take quite some time before the effects of this campaign will be fully realized. Our teachers will be receiving mentoring centered around how to improve online instruction through the North Carolina Education Corps. Additionally, many of our students will receive tutoring through the North Carolina Education Corps. Individuals throughout the state who possess the skills and expertise to assist in these areas have been identified, recommended for hiring, and are in the process of receiving additional training to help them to be better prepared to provide quality mentoring and tutoring to our teachers and students respectively. This venture will be financed through the Governor's Emergency Education Relief Fund, known as GEER, G-E-E-R, which is a part of the Federal CARES Act. The GEER funds are intended to provide emergency support to school districts, post-secondary institutions, or other education-related entities for addressing the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. We all recognize the fact that teaching and learning remotely 100% of the time is extremely challenging and also very new to all of our teachers and students. The assistance that our teachers and students will receive through the aforementioned initiative will be invaluable and help lead to a greater measure of academic and professional success for all parties involved. Each of our schools will be a part of this initiative. My staff and I have participated in numerous phone conferences, webinars, and statewide strategy sessions in order to obtain guidance on how to deal with the many challenges posed by the COVID-19 crisis. We are currently operating within the guidelines and mandates that have been laid out by the Governor's Office and by the State Department of Public Instruction. We have taken advantage of the flexibility provided to us to meet both the nutritional and the academic needs of our children. In doing so, teachers, bus drivers, staff members, and employees have been absolutely phenomenal in helping to provide these services to our students and community. In meeting the needs of the Weldon City schools, families specifically, and the public in general, we have provided constant and continuous updates on the coronavirus crisis through several mediums, including using the newspaper, social media, the school system website, individual school website, and school messenger. We will have our first Employee Advisory Council meeting on January 25th, 2021. We are excited about providing this opportunity to our employees through their representatives to openly and freely provide input, express concerns, or share experiences that impact the school district. Many staff members have expressed their appreciation to the school board and the administration for recognizing and rewarding their selfless and unwavering commitment to our students and community. I want to personally and on behalf of the school system give a special thanks to Mrs. Kitty Thomason for her generous donation of a piano to Weldon High School. I am confident that this gift will serve our students for years to come, and that this act will serve as an example and incentive for others to provide support and charity to our schools in order to help meet the educational and inspirational needs of our students. We will continue to press forward with our efforts to provide comprehensive services to our students and community to the greatest extent possible. We thank everyone for your continued support and understanding as we make every possible effort to comprehensively serve our students under these extraordinary circumstances. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Congleton, for that report. I'll give a brief report tonight, very, very brief. Let me begin by dittoing some of the things that Dr. Congleton has already said, but let me say it in my own words. I really, really appreciate, or this board as a whole really appreciates the continued work and efforts of our community, our teachers, all of our staff, cafeteria workers, custodians, our parents, and most of all, our prized possession within our district, our students, for the job that they continue to do during these unprecedented times. All of us know that we are in waters that we've never been in before, and a whole lot of things are uncertain. It may even seem unrealistic, but all of us need to be guided by our thoughts and our process of understanding as we try to get through these times. I hope that as we go through these times, whatever individual person should choose to make for themselves, please research, please study, and handle things in the best way that you as an individual, of course, would want to do. And also let me say that our school district, our board has been working, I think, very hard, and all of our board members are to be commended, trying to make sure that we did what we needed to do to make sure that all of our staff got bonuses last year within our district, because it was definitely needed, and also trying to make sure that we got employees on the right pay scale. And of course, our board, we strive to put others before ourselves. So I hope that everybody within our district will know and understand that our board, we're going to continue to press forward to do what we can to make sure that we treat all of our workers and everybody as fair as we possibly can, and do most of all what is right and what is in the best interest of our students. And I certainly want to thank each and every board member for what they bring to this board to help lead Weldon City Schools in the right direction, and to certainly be all that we can be within Weldon. Thanks again to all of you, Dr. Congleton, and all of our entire set of employees within our school district, our parents, and certainly, again, our prized possession within our district, our students. Thank you all so much. And community, we certainly want you to bear with us and work with us as we adjust to trying to govern as a school board through the times in which we live. Thank you all so much. All right, at this time, we will go now and receive our building and grounds report.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, board members. First of all, we got a couple things going on for us. The gym for the heat there now. We've got some quakes back. We still got 2 more to go. We're running a couple of issues for our structure. We're going to do that next week. We should what's going on with that. We talked about that probably Monday. I just found that out today. We got a few more issues going on with heat here and there. Believe it or not, the problem with elementary was when we spraying the chemical for the COVID. When we spraying the chemical for the COVID, it's actually going into my filters at the elementary. I had 3 or 4 units and stopped them from running too hot. What it's doing, I get enough fresh air back to the units, so we get that straight today. We just got to be careful when we spray around these units. Make sure we don't cause that problem they get to have people. That's the problem we have going on with everything. Did you mention what's going on with our 5-year plan?
No,
We met with folks doing our 5-year plan for what's going on with our district. They shared the paperwork back in probably another week and a half. And I would like the board members really look at it, because me and Dr. Parker really picked up some stuff that needs to be done. And the issue was this basic stuff that needs. And we're at the stage that our school system, our stuff is starting to bring people out. I mean, the time stuff is running out. Some of our heating systems that passed due. I know we were praying for a remodel, and I was too.
But we're gonna have to start looking at some issues when some of the heating systems start replacing them. Middle school, believe it or not, when we had to meet with them today, we put to the attention that school was 21 years old. The system was only good for 15 years, so we've been lucky that long that happened. So we actually put it into the budget. So that should show some of the figures, what's going on with that. But y'all need to see those once we get them all in place, because it ain't quite in place what we're actually trying to figure out yet. And Dr. Conley's looking at some of those figures too. And basically, we're just trying to maintain what's going on, what we got going on. And is there any questions?
Yes, Mr. Turner, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
What about the back gate at the Welland Elementary building? That has been there for about a year now, I think.
Yes, ma'am.
What's being done about that?
We get quotes back on one today. Should have one next Thursday for two companies. The company we used originally, the man took the year, it's gone out of business. And that's the quote we were going to use. But he's out of business now because he's got problems. I should have two prices back by Thursday for sure on both of them. I'm meeting with Dr. Condon and we're going to get those prices straight. Another issue with that game at the elementary is the distance on it. I found it from that mass.com gave me an estimate. We got to put a special guard on it because the gate is so long.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you were that issue with the fall on top of it.
Yeah.
Well, it's a code now that's going to have a special bar on it because of the distance of the gate. That's going to push the price up on the gate like much. I don't know exactly how much it is. It is a safety issue because it could fall on somebody and kill them. That gate is 22 foot long and probably weighs 500 pounds. Mr. Harrison said that issue when she was bad, so it's time to be replaced. So we'll get the prices in there too.
Thank you, Mr. Turner.
Mr. Turner.
Yes, sir.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Ms. Jenkins. Go ahead.
It's mighty dark. I mean, go out of the night. It's just, where's the light out here at the front here?
Basically, our parking out here is actually fed by the power company. They only got 2 drop lights out here. We really need to consider putting some of our own wall packs out to actually give an extra light. And right now we got 2 sticks. They just on the backside of something about to working. But we have issue with those burning out just as fast as they get to working on. So I hate to say it because the metal halos, they're not LEDs. We need to go to our own LED on the building to get actually shining through the parking lot drops. And another issue with part of Ms. Jenkins was me and Dr. Country is the camera issue. We really won't be able to actually see these corners on the corners at all times. And that's something that came up in that project for the school year budget too. So hopefully we can work some out on those too. But we definitely need more light. We need to do that in-house. So I need to get a quote on that. I totally agree. Yep. Because basically what you see in here is LEDs, that's what you see out there too.
And then kind of are we still
Yes, ma'am. It's on Fridays. What they do is they go in there and do a deep clean every Friday, and they'll spray everything on Fridays. Friday. Well, actually, the deep cleaner, they clean all the time during the daytime. Different end, but the deep clean is actually on Fridays. They actually spray the building from one end to the other with the chemical we're using. And that was some of the issue with the filter system at the elementary, because it was actually pulling through the filter drops. Because when they spray, it actually fogs the whole room up. The message that we bought for this system was the best thing we ever done, because what it can do is when it misses, it'll fog in that light right there, and it'll fog in that little piece right there. And then you get chemicals that's killing these things. It is that. Hopefully it's not that, but it's actually killing. And under these tables right here, you don't have to directly spray under it. When it fogs, it floats back up under. So that's one good thing wrong. But on that issue, that causes that problem. So basically what they're spraying when they do spray, as long as nobody comes back in the building for that day, we don't have any issue. If somebody walks in while they're doing it, it's an issue. Hopefully we don't have that issue.
So we are making sure that this is being done.
Yes, ma'am.
For all the schools.
Yes, ma'am. It's been done at all the schools. They do it here on Fridays after everybody leaves here. First time Troy comes back at 1 o'clock, sprays here too. So it's getting done at all locations. And like I said, like what I like when we bought those misters, it really makes a huge difference in the way it sprays, because it actually fogs that room from one end to the other. And within 15 minutes, that chemical is dry, so it's not going to affect anything like paperwork. But they know not to leave the paperwork out, or anything like computers, so nothing's open, so it actually fall on top of it. But the chemical we're using is really, really good. So, and it's approved by the EPA for us. Any questions asked for what we're using, We got all the paperwork at all the schools too. If you want to read what's in it and what it does, we've got access to the public to read it. So that was important when we bought that stuff. Any more questions?
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
quick question for you. The quotes that we were talking about for the heat and air, I heard you mention something that we have some units that are going to need to be replaced. But did you ever get quotes as far as the heat and air, as far as the high school gym is concerned? And I hear you now saying some additional units also.
Yes, sir. When I first started speaking, we were talking about the GMD. What we got is I got one quote back now. I got one coming back next Thursday. What happened was we run into an issue with the structural problems that we were trying to do. We're working through that. So what's going to happen? I'll talk about what needs to be done. And hopefully the issues I'm talking about is not going to be a big issue because it's structural. Because they have to actually cut into the walls. We're going to make sure when they cut into the wall, the structural steel is going to take what we're going to put into the walls, put the drops in. But the guy doing the work, he said his engineer here, and he said he will see the issue with that. So I just want it on paper.
Okay, but we do have quotes, and you're working on quotes for the other units that you were talking about.
One of them will come back right at 212,000. So
That's for the gym.
The gym. Now, basically, what I want to go for the rest of the high school was their units are 28 years old. When we had a discussion, going to set the 5-year plan. Now, we're looking at which we've been way past replacing them. We're even trying to keep them going because of the cost. Hopefully, we're going to get a remodel. They're 28 years old now, so they're 5-ton units, and they're commercial rated. We come up with a figure because actually, when you do HVAC for a school system or a business, under the state guidelines, it's $9.80 a square foot for heating and air. So that come back right at 800,000 for the units we got over there now, just for the high school. So that project's put in the plan. Hopefully, when we get it back, we can look at it and read it, and let's see what we need to do for those control parts of it and how we're going to spend the money. That's going to be the issue, how we're going to spend the money. So that's going to be in that budget guideline for what those costs are. And then Dr. Comparis will explain to y'all because it's under the A, B, and C guideline for what actually going to happen. We just need to look and see what the priority is on that stuff. Same thing with the middle school. The heating system there is 21 years old now. It's already gone past its life. We got 2 100-ton chillers down there going to cost over $500,000. That's $500,000 for those 2 units. So we got to start looking at that plan, and we need to go that direction. Basically, what we talked about today, we're going to have to because of the age of it. Just like this money I spent last year, just keeping them going, we spent right at $45,000 on 2 units to change the compressors there because of the age. But we had to keep it going. So we're getting to a stage now is it feasible to put new or keep repairing. And basically what we talk about today, we're at the stage we need to start replacing. Because the refrigerants now and cooling, R22 is $1,800 for a 50-pound cylinder. One compressor at the middle school, you got 5 cylinders in it. Add that up. That would have been like almost like $40,000 just for a refrigerant. It's not feasible anymore. We're going to have to change them out.
Right.
Just they got to the stage before they need to be replaced. And so a whole lot of things too is on that budget line. We're going to look at it that we actually put in there. But we need to actually look at it and figure what direction we're going to go for. What's going to be repaired first? Because you know how that goes. You got, I mean, everybody might want a new desk. I said, desk can't come first before you heat that. You can heat that first. And all that's in that program, you'll be able to look at it and let's see how we're going to proceed on which way we're going to go with it. And they're doing it so you can understand it. So, like on some of the ones I told you, the age on it, he's got wrote out that it's past his age for not being replaced. Maybe something about once we get it in place. I mean, we need to look at it. The whole board needs to look at it. So you kind of know what's going on. Okay.
All right.
Now, I still wish we could get a report today for the high school. Then some of the issues that we even have. But right now, you know how the county commissions are. I don't know if we're going to go that direction or not. I wish we would, but we got to fix what's broke.
Right.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
This is not directly to Mr. Chairman, but where are we with the remodel? I know he mentioned several times a remodel school with the commissioner, but Would you happen to know, or do we need to start back looking to the commission about remodel school or new school? That just kind of ended. I don't recall anything else being said about it. But we're spending quite a bit of money. I know we had to have it now, but we kind of need to see what the county commission is saying about a new school or remodel school as well.
Right. And I totally agree with you, Mr. Williams, and you know, just like I know, and the entire board know, I just was elected chair. I was just elected chair in December. And of course, the conversation with the old board, as you said, Mr. Williams, it dropped. We did everything that we had to do, and we did spend quite a bit of money, but it was out of our hands. You know, it requires funding. And as of today, I have not heard anything else about it. And I think because we do have a new board now with new board members, it would probably be in our best interest that we go through well, we already have, you know, the plans and all in that respect, but nothing has been approved. Of course, as you said, all of that stopped. But we probably need to look at our 2022 budget. We probably need to decide as a board how we are going to present that again. I don't know how that will look like. Of course, we'll have to have a work session to determine what we need to do or how we need to present it. But that's where we are. We basically at a standstill, and it's because of the funding.
With things outside of this doing this budget for us, they're actually gonna break it down so we can actually show the county commissioners what's going on with the old stuff that needs to be replaced. I mean, it's at the stage right now. Do we proceed or do we go back? As far as me, I would love a remodel today. But they got to understand that we can't go 35 years and not fixing it. I mean, we need to repair what is broke. But I'd rather have something we can work with from the beginning and let us do that. Because what's going on with that is, I hate to see money wasted. If we're going to get a remodel, everything's going to be entirely different. The heat system's going to be different. It's going to be made different. It's going to be put in different.
Correct.
That's what I'm saying. If we spend $500,000 on rooftop units, I can tell you right now, what I seen in the drawing from the first set we done, there won't be no flat roofs. There'll be A roofs and everything will go to the ground. They're just going to pass it to anybody. But right now back to the issue, they need to be replaced. We got kids that need to be cold and warm at the same time.
Right.
We can't get it direction. That's what bothers me. I wish the county commissioners would tell us something, and they should tell us something. But the paperwork doctor, he's got those folks come in and do the survey for us. We got something we can show them on paper when they get through with this. And y'all need to look through it.
And Mr. Turner, with what you're saying, and I'm not trying to speak for the board, but I think what you're saying is valid. Everything that you have written down and in connection with what Mr. Williams just said, we may need to try to get on the next month agenda at the county commissioners meeting and just lay it out, you know, from the school district, give Mr. Turner opportunity to compile all of that list of you know, the needs as far as the air conditions and things of that nature. And we may need to go to the county commissioners and just let them know, look, this is what we have. And we have to keep our children warm. It's wintertime. and you know, just throwing money out of the window, you know, with units that are 25 years old, close to 30 years old. I mean, after a period of time, I mean, as Mr. Turner said, we're just wasting money. So, you know, we may need to get on the agenda. If Mr. Turner, if you can get that list together and get it to Dr. Congleton, you know, so the board members can have it and just know exactly what we're looking at, as you said, with putting it all on paper. I think, Mr. Williams, to your point, we need to say this is our need, and we spend all of this money as far as a remodel school or new school. Now, how are we going to do this? Because just standing still, that's not an option right now.
Another thing is the people done the survey with us, they would actually, he said he would meet with us, right, talk with us, and he would probably go to the county commission with us too. explain to him the age stuff was they got to need to be replaced. And they need to understand that we might be a small system, but we still got kids too.
Sure.
Like, it needs to be done. And it just, they push us around long enough. It's time to say, look, another thing is, I already extended this. The flat roof on Webb High School was placed 21 years ago, right before I put to work here. All right, it needs to be replaced again. I've added into this new budget. Now you're talking about another $500,000 for a flat roof, but you know I don't like a flat roof. A flat roof is going to leak no matter what you do. It's at the stage now, it's already going there. The cold top pitch roof on the flat part of the high school has already got spout cracks, and we got leaks everywhere. And you know what? I don't want any kid to get, I don't want teachers to get, and I don't want to feel like they're going to be in a mold and mildew situation either. A roof leaks, you got problems with any kind of mold and mildew. You can't control it, but you can stop it. But if something's leaking, you need to repair it.
That's correct.
Then we're back to now. We're spending $500,000 again for a flat roof at the high school that was done right before I put to work here. And my recall was that was $420-some thousand back then. So we got almost $1 million for one set of roof section. It's still flat. One other thing about that, I was talking about my mind tonight, is when we actually give these contracts to these people. When I first come here, we done a roof at the elementary. It was not 6 months we had leaks again. They come up several times to work on them. Then all of a sudden, these people disappear. We need to find contractors done work somewhere else. And you look at what they've done somewhere else and find out how they people actually come up to do things. Because we're small, we don't have money to keep throwing away something they've already done fixed.
That's right.
They should maintain the warranty, because the warranty is 10 years. Now, where are these people at? Like, the warranties don't run off everywhere, man. Our 10-year warranties go on every building we got. Y'all know what we spent 10, 15 years ago. What bothers me on that is, we need to find reputable people who would be responsible enough to care of what they do when they fix it, not trying to worry about what they're going to do until look for them. We can't find them. Right now, there's people who are out of business. On several of these companies won't use. I think they're leaking the roofs. So that's one thing a lot of people feel is when we get my projects.
That's good.
So, but I'm just saying that if they're going to take $1 million out of money, I want them to be responsible for what they do when they leave here. Not be gone a year later and we can't find them. So
Right.
we need to find they still staying in business, if you see what I'm saying, because these companies go left and right. So that needs to change.
Sure.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Turner. Please get that list to us as soon as possible, so we'll know what we're looking at. And you as the director of maintenance, we can, as the board, we can take the necessary precaution to go to the commissioners meeting with the tangible evidence that you have. And I think if board members could as soon as they could get by to see what you're talking about, that would add, of course, to our case.
Get the board, get the county commission and show them myself.
Yeah.
Looking at it, you're looking at it. They keep denying they're not looking at it. So that don't bother me. I don't mind telling them to come look what we got going on. They should. They're our county commissioners. They need to come look.
Sure. Any other questions for Mr. Turner? All right. If not, thank you so much, Mr. Turner. We certainly appreciate that report. And thank you for pouring some of your heart out to us tonight.
Yeah. Thank everybody.
Thank you. All right. We'll move now into our monthly financial reports. I think Ms. Board is coming. Yeah. All right.
Good evening, Dr. Covington, board chair, board members.
Good evening.
The monthly financial statements for the month of December 2020, starting with the local expense fund H. The revenues beginning balance was $571,964.55. The total monthly deposits month to date, $44,405.15. Year-to-date total, $616,369.70. Expenditures beginning balance, $579,862.12. Total expenditures for the month to date, $53,967.02. Year-to-date total, $633,829.14. Net result for the year, a negative $17,459.44. Fund balance as of July 1, $448,928. Obligated fund balance, $68,062.13. Net result for the year, a negative $17,459.44. Unobligated fund balance, $363,406.43. Next, current expense fund 2, revenues beginning balance $1,170,082.70. Total month deposits month to date $145,682.14. Year to date total $1,315,764.84. Expenditures beginning balance $473,303.73. Total expenditures for the month to date $323,904.80. Year to date total $797,208.53. Net result for the year $518,556.31. Fund balance as of July 1, $870,287. Net result for the year $518,556.31. Unobligated fund balance $1,388,843.31. Capital outlay expense fund, revenues beginning balance $243,366.07. Total monthly deposits for month to date $129.94. Year to date total $243,496.01. Expenditures beginning balance $106,617.21. Total expenditures for the month to date $2,795.75. Year to date total $109,412.96. Net result for the year $134,083.05. Fund dollars as of July 1, $595,082. Obligated fund balance $140,702. Net result for the year $134,083.05. Unobligated fund balance $588,463.05. Child nutrition expense fund, revenues beginning balance $255,009.20. Total monthly deposits month to date $87,268.87. Year to date total $342,278.07. Expenditures beginning balance $243,299.32. Total expenditures for the month to date $48,378.92. Year to date total $291,678.24. Net result for the year $50,599.83. Obligated fund balance $263,006. Net result for the year $50,599.83. Unobligated fund balance $313,605.83.
Do we have any questions? Ms. Boyd? Any questions? All right, hearing none. Thank you so much, Ms. Boyd. Appreciate that very much. All right, moving on to our instructional support. Excuse me, instructional report.
Good afternoon, board chair, board members, Dr. Congleton.
Good evening.
Good afternoon. This evening, we will have, as a part of our instructional report, Mr. Brown from Weldonsville High School. He will share his instructional update from the first semester.
Good evening, board chair, board members,
Good
superintendent.
evening.
Good evening. Okay. Okay, so currently we're waiting on slides. Mr. Redmond, he's in the process of looking them up as we speak. So that's what we're waiting on. Just waiting on the slides. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thank you very much, Mr. Redmond. Looking at our school goals, we're going to start with that. So just to give you an idea, we aligned our goals with the district goals of 40% proficiency in our EOC subject areas, which are Math 1, Math 3, English 2, and Biology. So that's why you would see, that's why you look up at EOC 40% proficiency in just about all of our EOC subject areas as measured by the North Carolina EOC. All right, next slide. Okay. So this presentation is going to, very short presentation. It's going to be based on our first semester benchmark results, starting with our biology enrolled versus assessed versus proficient. So as you can see, we had 8 students who were enrolled in biology first semester. 4 out of those 8 students were assessed, which left us with a difference of 4 who didn't take the assessment. 3 out of those 8 students were proficient. As a result, we had 38% proficiency in biology on our first semester benchmark assessment. All right, next slide. Okay, so again, still on biology. This time it's biology total enrolled versus assessed. So again, we had 8 students who were enrolled in biology first semester. 4 out of those 8 students were assessed, which left us with a difference of 4 students who didn't take the assessment. So percentage-wise, we had 50% participation in our benchmark assessment for biology. So moving on to Math 3. So this time we have Math 3 total enrolled versus assessed. So as you can see, we have 12 students who were enrolled in Math 3 first semester. 9 out of those 12 students were assessed, which left us with a difference of 3 students who did not take the assessment. So all in all, 75% of our students who took Math 3 first semester were assessed. Okay, still on Math 3, now we're looking at Math 3 enrolled versus assessed versus proficient. So again, we had a total of 12 students enrolled in Math 3 first semester. 9 out of those 12 students were assessed, which left us a difference of 3 students that didn't take the assessment. 1 out of those 12 students were proficient, which left us with 8% proficiency in Math 3. So this slide here is our first quarter failure rate percentage. So what we did here, our first quarter failure percentage increased. If you notice, it increased in comparison to last year, which I believe had a lot to do with everyone getting adjusted to remote learning, as well as the issues that we're having with attendance. All right, next slide. So on this slide here, these are the things that went well first semester. So our teachers, they were very happy with the Google Classroom software because it allowed students to have easy interaction with the teachers' lessons and presentations, making learning enjoyable for our students. The teachers' comfort level using instructional technology, it grew a lot. Teachers, they really appreciated the extended planning times to prepare for lessons and presentations. And teachers had the opportunity to collaborate in professional learning communities, which allowed them to create ways to enhance learning for students. And the next slide, these are some of the challenges that we faced in first semester, which was student attendance, technology issues with Wi-Fi and things of that nature, the curriculum pacing for teachers as it relates to covering all of the standards. Next slide, these are our action steps to address the challenges that we faced. So using funds that was allotted to us from the state, we're currently in the process of hiring math, English, and science instructional coaches from the state to work with our EOC teachers on instructional strategies to remediate students who are not meeting proficiency, as well as enriching those students who are proficient. We recently, as was mentioned earlier, we recently received a grant allowing us to have access to mentors and tutors as additional support for our students and teachers. We're currently creating and updating curriculum pacing guides to ensure teachers are pacing themselves to cover all standards, especially our test-specific standards. And to address the attendance issues, we sent attendance letters home to parents of students with 10 or more absences. We've made home visits to parents of students with 10 or more absences. And we're currently in the process of virtually meeting with parents of students with 10 or more absences. That concludes our short presentation. Anybody have any questions?
Board members, do we have any questions for Mr. Brown? Any questions for Mr. Brown? All right, if not, thank you so much, Mr. Brown, for your presentation tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, moving on. Everyone is the only one.
That's it.
What instructional report? Was he the only one, Dr. Congleton?
Yes, sir. That's it for tonight.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, moving on to school health. I think that's Ms. Snipes, correct?
Ms. Snipes.
Good evening, board members, board chair, and interim superintendent.
Good evening.
I am here to provide our monthly school health update. So as you are aware, there has been some changes which occurs pretty much daily in regards to our vaccination, since the vaccine has now been rolled out to all people across the state, across the nation. And so most recently, our governor made, with the recommendation of Dr. Cohen, changed the rollout schedule. So now they're going to a group model, which is group 1, which was all healthcare workers that are currently in those COVID-19 units, as well as your long-term care facility. Now they are operating and rolling out the vaccinations and having inoculation clinics to group 2, which is any adult 65 and older. At this time, because we have had personal experience with our superintendent, it appears that the vaccinations for the county is very limited or out of sorts right now. From my conversations with the health director, they were looking to have a shipment come in on Monday. They did not get what they expected, but there are other places around the state that you can also participate and engage in if you do have the opportunity to go outside this domicile area. Some other districts, some other counties are doing it by appointment, but Halifax County is currently operating under the first come, first serve at this community college at this time. And then once they have enough, then they will move to our frontline essential workers, which would include any employee of the school system will have the opportunity to take the vaccination if they so desire. So looking at our current dashboard for the month, I provided this to you as of January the 13th of 2021. There has not been any additions since that time. So this is where we are currently as of today. And are there any questions, concerns as far as the health update?
Any questions for Ms. Snipes? All right. If there are no questions, thank you so much, Ms. Snipes, for that information.
Reverend Sykes,
Yes.
I have a question. It's not about the test for COVID, but it is concerning the MCV4 vaccination that was required for seniors.
Yes, ma'am. So
do we have a lot of students, and of course I know that all seniors were required to take it, but do we have a lot of students that did not take it, or that we had to make contact with to make sure that they get it? How do we handle that?
So we have had, and this also is for our elementary school students as well. The seventh grade has to have the updated vaccination as well as our 12th grade students.
Mm-hmm.
So at this time, RVAC is up to date with their vaccinations. The high school currently still has some students. We are giving families until the end of this month, which there's about 15 families at the high school level. There are about 30 at the middle school, and we're just working with about another 30 at the elementary school. So we are working with those families because we do understand that there has been some issues with getting appointments Some have been complying as well as to get the appointment or even schedule the appointment. Others have not. Those that have not, we are, at the end of this month, we will have to implement quote unquote suspending. Either they, based off of the North Carolina requirement, they will either be suspended from both virtual learning and in person. So it doesn't matter if we're in a virtual environment or not. The state has indicated, and no other waivers have been received at this time, that if they do not have those vaccinations by the end of this month, then they will be no longer able to participate until they receive such vaccination.
So that date that you're talking about for the end of the month, is that something that Weldon City Schools has set, or is that a state?
So we actually set that particular date. We sent out letters at the beginning of the year over the summer. We sent out an updated letter over about mid-semester at the end of the first quarter. The nursing staff as well as the teaching staff have been making contact via email, conversations. Social worker has been completing home visits. Our nursing staff has actually scheduled some appointments for families. So we, given the time frame and the ability that our nursing staff had issues with scheduling, that's why we extended our date to the 31st of this month, because some people did have appointments that were scheduled in October for January. So we want to give them an opportunity to have those appointments to ensure that they keep those appointments before saying that they're no longer able to participate in the learning environment.
Are we being or have we thought about being proactive for next school year, so that we can start having those conversations now early on with the students that will be going into those grades that will require those vaccinations?
Yes, ma'am. So we did actually start that process earlier last year, like at the end of April, close to May, before the nurses were out for the summer. We also looked into scheduling clinics with the health department. At that time, the health department did not have the ability or the capacity to hold clinics for us. So we have been proactive in looking at all of the resources in which we have within our community, but we will be starting that process a whole lot earlier now and moving forward so that the parents and families have the opportunity to get whatever is necessary for them to attend school as needed.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Do we have any other questions for Ms. Snipes? All right. If not, thank you so much. All right, moving on to our presentations, our certificates of excellence. Mrs. Terry Austin.
Good evening to board chair, board members.
Good evening.
Good evening to also our community this evening. I'm excited about announcing our January Students of the Month. I've had the pleasure to work with each one of those parents of the select student and want to formally say thank you for working with us. And thank you for allowing your child to be a student here at Weldon City Schools. I would like to, and I hope everybody's on. We've had a group text going so that we make sure that everybody's on. So Christian Scott is our pre-kindergarten student of the month at Weldon Elementary Global Academy. Mr. Christian was nominated by Ms. Smiles and Ms. Price, his teachers. He has shown great dedication and commitment to his educational and emotional growth through this pandemic. He and his family have worked hard to make sure he stays on task and attends class and completes activities regularly. Not only has Kristen maintained against many obstacles, he has actually shown much growth and improvement. The pre-K family is extremely proud of Christian and looks forward to his continued growth and success. Way to go, Christian! Next, we have Weldon Middle School, Mr. Edward Hawkins. Mr. Hawkins is always very respectful and mannerable when dealing with teachers and others. His dedication to completing his assignments on time, asking questions when he needs help, and offering to help others. It is a joy to have Edward in our classes, and this came from the 7th grade team at Weldon Middle School, Miss Arrington, Miss Floyd, and Mrs. Davis. Way to go, Edward. When we move to the high school, we have Mr. Adam Farham. He was nominated by the entire staff at Weldon High School. In the words of Leonardo da Vinci, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. He's cool, calm, and collected demeanor brings life to the Da Vinci quote. Adam carries himself in such a way that he's respected by both his peers and the adults in our school community. Although he is quiet by nature, his work ethic and resilience speaks volumes without him having to say a word. He has the whereabouts to look beyond the here and now and makes plans directly related to the betterment of his future. He is a stellar academic record, and currently he's enrolled in the North Carolina School of Science and Math. He continues to challenge himself whenever possible, and as a case-perfect example that the hard work, respect, and consistency yields positive results. Way to go, Adam! From Roanoke Valley Early College, we have Kennedy Silver. She's a 9th grader there, and she was nominated by Mrs. Walton, her social studies teacher. Her teacher writes, on the 3rd day of school, Kennedy walked into my door and said, Miss Walton, I'm Kennedy. I know these are unusual circumstances, but I wanted to meet all of my teachers. This blew me away because she spoke with a level of authority that led me to know that she was serious about her studies, is what her Mrs. Walton said. In the classroom, her demeanor was no different. She stepped up when others wouldn't, answering questions, assuming roles in group assignments, in particular, breakout rooms. Her leadership skills shown in class led me to ask her to serve as one of the first freshman representatives for the yearbook. Immediately, she began working, making sure she included her classmates every step of the way. And it is a pleasure and an honor that she submitted Kennedy as a January Student of the Month for Roanoke Valley Early College. Way to go, Kennedy! So please, when you see these individuals, or if you communicate with them virtually or however, please do let them know that you heard about them, that they are the Student of the Month, and look for the sign to be placed in their yard, sharing with their community that they are Students of the Month for Weldon City Schools.
Thank you, Ms. Austin. If we could, real quick, give all those students a round of applause, congratulating them. Thank you so much. Yes.
Is Miss Austin, is she done?
No, she has some more to do.
Okay, I want to share something after she's done.
All right.
Okay. Now, with great pleasure is recognizing our Employee of the Month. We know all of our employees are superb and doing great things. And this month, we have the selection has went to our nurse, Shaman Cheek. So congratulations, Ms. Cheek. Yes. Mrs. Cheek is on the road. She attended a session in Raleigh, but she's an active participant in the field of nursing. She participates in various school health seminars and trainings to stay abreast of updates and changes within the field. She is willing to go above and beyond the call of duty by volunteering her services within the community through the School Nurse Partnership and supporting families by scheduling follow-up visits and medical providers. Nurse Cheek is also a strong advocate for doing what is right and best for the health and safety of our students and staff, especially during the pandemic. Nurse Cheek is a great asset to our Weldon City Schools community. Thank you again, Ms. Cheek. She's riding in her car now listening to us on her phone. A couple of months ago, we had Micaiah Tyrone as Student of the Month. Tonight, we recognize his mom as our most valuable parent award for this month, Miss Stephanie Hawkins. Ms. Hawkins has been a supportive force at Weldon Middle School. Her feedback and support is invaluable. She has consistently attended all town hall meetings and a willingness to serve as a valuable member of the parent advisory team at Weldon Middle School. I will add, she's also served in a district-wide aspect of working on parent advisory committees as well, and always willing to assist. So Mrs. Hawkins will also receive a sign in her yard to let the parents in her community know that she is the most valuable parent this month in Weldon City Schools. Thank you, everyone, for giving me the opportunity to express and highlight our individuals tonight, and hope everybody have a great evening.
Board members, if y'all don't mind, let us give a round of applause for our Employee of the Month and our most valuable parent as well. Thank you so much. We appreciate that, Mrs. Terry Austin. Does anybody need a 2-minute break? Do y'all need a break, board members?
I'm good, Reverend Sykes.
All right.
Just need to share something.
All right. Ms. Hale, Ms. Robinson, Ms. Bird Robinson, rather.
I'm fine. We can keep moving. I just want to share something.
Okay. Ms. Bird Robinson, go ahead.
Okay. We are talking about our parents and our students and our teachers of the month. We need to also commend Miss Terry Austin. During her winter break, Christmas break, Miss Austin was out working with our families, working with our parents, securing things for our families. I know because I had an opportunity kind of to work with her a little bit on that, and she needed donations. We worked, got those donations, and she was able to offer support to a couple of families. So we really need to commend Miss Austin because she gave up a portion of her break, and she was out there getting things for our families, getting those resources, and just doing what she normally do and taking care of everyone. So we really want to commend her for that. Also, she was, like I said, we got donations in, a couple of us from the board that are contacted, we all just kind of chipped in. And so Miss Austin really, really needs to be commended for the hard work that she has always done and is doing now.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Ms. Bird Robinson. And I think you can see me, Mrs. Austin. I can't see you, but I think you can see me. We do appreciate what you do continually. There you are. We do appreciate what you do continually and the little small things as it relates to the interaction with our community. We appreciate you more than what our tongues can tell. Thank you so much. Appreciate your hard job and the work that you do reaching out to our parents and our community, and certainly what was done to aid those families during Christmas. Thank you so much. And I think everybody feels that way, and they'll tell you in their own way, as we appreciate all, but certainly appreciate what you did in that respect. Thank you so very much.
And I just want to add, I was not alone. Miss April Whitaker, our school social worker, it was a tag team. It was a team effort. But thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Ms. Whitaker, as well. Let's give Ms. Whitaker a round of applause as well. All right. Thank you very much. And thank you for bringing that to our attention, Ms. Bird Robinson. All right. Moving on, Dr. Congleton, do we have anybody for public forum tonight?
Yes, Regina Brooks.
All right. Mr. Williams.
Yes, sir.
If you don't mind, would you keep the time tonight, the 3 minutes like we normally do?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Ms. Brooks. Always glad to see you. Ms. Brooks, you're familiar with the 3 minutes that we say, and certainly want to receive your comments this evening. If you can keep them within that 3-minute time frame, but of course, if you should go over just a little bit, we're gonna listen to what you have to say. You ready, Mr. Williams?
Yes, sir.
All right. It's on you, Ms. Brooks.
Thank
We're
you
ready.
so much. Good evening to all.
Evening.
In presenting my 2 minutes worth, I want you to know that I spend many hours, days, praying, meditating, seeking guidance for the children as to what to say. Don't think I just come here to be coming. I am a messenger. I had plans to present 4 or 5 different messages to you along with handouts. They failed to come forth. New members, you'll begin a package from me, and it will give you a bird's eye view of why I come here. I want you to know that I've learned, especially in the past 23 years, to be so obedient to the Spirit and not to man as much. Some 23 years ago, upon relocating here to Weldon, my husband, the late Dr. Ernest Brooks, introduced me to then Mr. Jerry Congleton, who was superintendent of Weldon City Schools. I greeted Mr. Congleton and immediately, and I'm sure if he remembers, he'll know that this is the truth. He stated to me that I stated to him, "Hello, how are you? Well, we won't be here long if my son and our son, Ernest Brooks III, doesn't get what he did in Martin County or more." That means the quality of education he was getting. And Mr. Congleton looked at me and immediately he stated, "Well, you need to speak to your husband because he is in charge of curriculum." I said, "No problem." He got that. Now, he already know I said, "I say to you, just like I said to my son, we won't be here long if you don't get what you need." But I'm standing here tonight, not because my son got everything he needed, but because I'm obedient to the Spirit. Not that I want to stay here in Weldon, but I've learned to be obedient. Never say what you won't do. I too endured many challenges, not being considered for over 50 positions here, not only qualified, but also being called everything but a child of God, crazy, you name it. But you know what I learned? Sometimes you need to get over your challenges. You're going to try to find somebody crazy that has been through a couple of things. So I stand before you as a God-fearing anointed messenger. And I say to you, yes, you're in a health pandemic, but I hope you know, and I think you do, you're in an educational pandemic crisis also. And I would like to have another minute if possible. If not, I thank
You finish your statement, Ms. Brooks.
you. Encourage you, board members, to have a come to Jesus meeting with your faith leaders. You're looking for a 5-star leadership. Pray and align your actions and your words with what you're looking for, with the oath that you swore to. If the students are to succeed, you must see the urgency of now. Walk together, board members. It's really not about you. Choose the children, not politics, not educators who are not committed, not friends, not acquaintances. It's all about the children. And I say to you, you are in dire need of curriculum experts for the children.
when you choose love and respect the other as much as you love yourself, then love, growth, success will come. God bless each of you as you find solutions while you are treading the difficult waters of Weldon City Schools, not only for now, but for the next 3 or 4 years. Good night and thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Brooks, for your comments. All right. All right, at this time, we are moving on to 8.1. Mr. Williams asked that we would add to our agenda abstain vote. Mr. Williams?
Thank you, Reverend Sykes.
Yes, sir.
Perhaps first I need to pretty much direct this to Mr. Malone, because he can give some guidance to this. Is he still present?
Yes, he's here.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, what my question is, we had a abstain vote, but what I wanted to know was there any way that this board could not do away with it, but let's say someone abstains. And if they abstain, then they have to give a reason. If they say a conflict of interest, then this board will decide if there is a true conflict of interest or not. But that will keep people from not making a decision on top-heavy or critical decisions. I just think that if we, as board members, then you need to be able to make that hard vote, whether it's up or down. But when you abstain, that puts you on the fence and nothing happens. So I wanted to know from you if a policy or what would happen or what could happen in order for that to be put in place, or can it be put in place?
So I was trying to see what your policy currently says. Your policy says that if you have a board member must vote on all issues unless the member has a conflict of interest or is unable to remain impartial in a judicial matter before the board. If a board member recuses himself or herself from a vote, the member will state the reason before the vote is taken, and the reason will be recorded in the minutes. That's what the policy says. And then, so ask your question again.
My question is, let's say I abstain from something.
Okay.
And the other board members have to make a decision as to whether or not reason I give, my conflict of interest or abstaining was legitimate, and not just be abstaining because I don't want to take a stand. So can that be decided by the board members that is not legitimate, and then I would have to make a vote?
So your policy doesn't necessarily address this as some do. Some policies would say that if you ask to abstain and the board didn't grant you permission to abstain, you could abstain, so to speak, but your vote would be counted in the affirmative. So, I mean, I guess the short answer is that if you abstain, you can abstain whether the board gives you permission or not. And it would be recorded by Kitty as an abstention. But the question is, if the board gives you permission to abstain, then the vote, let's say, would be 3-3 or 4-2. Your vote wouldn't count at all. If the board doesn't give you permission to abstain, then your vote historically gets recorded as a positive vote, even though the minutes will note that you abstained, so you didn't technically vote on the matter. Now, if we need to modify the policy to more clearly state that position or some other position, certainly by policy, the board can tweak those rules.
Well, that's what I was looking for, but that would be something that the board would have to decide. I mean, I just want to know if it could be done.
Correct. Yeah, the board, yeah, what we can do is we can take a more careful look. I mean, I did a quick scan of your policies here. We can take a more careful look at what the default is within your policies. I think you may otherwise revert back to Robert's rules. So we can clarify exactly what the rule is. And then if the board wants to modify that rule, we can draft some language within the policy to get to whatever result the board is trying to achieve.
Okay, well, I need to present that as a motion, or you would need to do something on it to see where the board stands.
Now, do you need that tonight, or is this something that I can maybe try to send you an email, the board an email with kind of what the rule is right now and maybe what some options are?
That would be fine,
Okay.
Attorney Malone, that you're saying something. There's nothing urgent, but I just think we need that in place.
Okay, yeah, I will. We've got a guy in our office that's parliamentarian. I mean, that's like his area of specialty. So I'll meet with him and get you a little, cheat sheet about where you are now and kind of what the options are, in terms of how a parliamentarian would view it.
All right, thank you, sir.
Not a problem. Happy to do it.
Robert Sykes, with that being said, then I'll just wait on Mr. Malone before I go forth with any other action.
Well, I was going to say, Mr. Williams, I'm in total agreement, and this is just me speaking. I think as elected board members, we're put in place by the community, and we do have tough decisions that we have to make. And sometimes we may not want to make them, be it up or down, as you said, but we have to make those decisions. So I definitely think that's something that we need to have Mr. Malone to, research and, just get to us like he said. And we could, take that in a work session and, do what we're going to do and then prepare to make the policy change if that's what the board wants to do. I'm in total agreement with that. So, whenever we, can have a work session to talk about that, and if we have something else to talk about, I think if he gets the information, go ahead on and draft it, looking at our policy and get with the parliamentarian person. I think that's something that we need to definitely talk about. I'm in total agreement with that.
Thank you, sir.
I'll get you something before the next regular meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Malone. Appreciate that.
Not a problem.
And I mean, he'll give us the framework, I guess, to say, and then we can add or take away what we want, Mr. Williams. But to your point, I think it needs to be spelled out. If we're going to abstain, we just shouldn't abstain because, it is in the affirmative if you abstain. But we should, be voting on every issue. I agree with you.
Yes, sir.
And that's my personal opinion. I'm not speaking for the board, but I'm just, I'm saying I'm in agreement with you. That's something that we'll talk about as the board, and then we'll go from there.
All right.
Thank you for that, Mr. Williams. Any other board member have anything they want to add to that? So that would be a policy amendment or policy ratification that we would need to make after we get the necessary information if we're going to do anything with it, and we can address it in that light. Thank you again, Mr. Williams.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do we have any other comment or question on that? And Mr. Williams, to your point, again, it's something just came to me. If I am not mistaken, I think the Board of Commissioners in Halifax County, every issue that comes before them, they have to take a vote, and they are asked at the beginning of the meeting, do they have any conflict? And if they say that they have no conflict, every issue that comes up, whether it's in the affirmative or negative, they have to vote on it. So I don't think what we are talking about tonight is, far-fetched. I think it's just, just good being a board member that we have to make those tough decisions.
So true.
And I'm not saying that we have to be that Halifax County Board of Commissioners, because we are a governing board ourselves. But what you said is duly noted in my mind, and I think we really need to take that under consideration. All right. If no one else has anything with that, we'll move forward to our consent agenda. Everybody look over the consent agenda. Any questions on the consent agenda? Okay, hearing none, a motion is in order then that we approve the consent agenda.
Make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Is there a second? Who seconded? Was that you, Ms. Harrison?
Yes, it was me.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. The motion has been moved and properly seconded. Motion by Ms. Bird Robinson and seconded by Ms. Harrison that we approve the consent agenda. You heard that motion. Is there any unreadiness? Hearing none, all in favor of that motion, would you let it be known by your voice vote? Ms. Harrison?
Yes.
Ms. Hale?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Bird Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Kim
Aye.
Robinson? Ms. Jenkins? Did Ms. Jenkins say something? Oh, okay, that mic seemed like it's a little far from her. Okay, thank you, Ms. Jenkins. And myself as well, aye. Let the record reflect that it was approved unanimously. All right, moving on to number 10, our action from closed session. Motion is in order.
Motion that the personnel recommendation on Dr. Congleton be approved.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Second.
Was that Ms. Jenkins seconded? Okay, I can't hear you, Ms. Jenkins. I'm struggling trying to hear you on this end. Thank you so much. The motion has been moved by Mr. Williams and seconded by Mrs. Jenkins that the action from closed session with personnel recommendations be approved. Hearing that motion, is there any unreadiness? Hearing none, all in favor of that motion, would you let it be known now by your voice vote? Let me start with Ms. Jenkins.
Yes.
All right. Ms. Kim Robinson,
Aye.
Ms. Hale,
Aye.
Ms. Harrison,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
and myself, yes, and Ms. Bird Robinson.
Aye.
All right. Let the record reflect that it is a unanimous approval from the board. All right. Is there anything else to claim our attention?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Second.
All right, it's been motioned by Mr. Williams and seconded by Mrs. Tiffany Hale, that we adjourn our meeting for tonight. You heard that motion. Is there any unreadiness? Hearing none. All in favor of that motion, would you let it be known by your voice vote? Ms. Kim Robinson,
Aye.
Ms. Donna Harrison,
Yes.
Ms. Bird Robinson,
Aye.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Jenkins.
Yes.
All right. I heard you loud and clear that time. And O.D. Sykes, yes as well. All right. We announce now that the meeting is officially adjourned. Thank you, Miss Kitty, for your help tonight. Thank you, Attorney Malone, for being with us. Thank you, Dr. Congleton, as well, working with us. Thank you, board members, and thank all of our other staff as well.